Hi, this is Stephen Brower from Raritan Valley Community College. This is for CSIT 105 Foundations of Computer Science. Although I have two sections of the course, I'm going to try to make this generic enough to be used by both sections. This video is intended for those that have never used Canvas before. If you have used Canvas before, there's a different video that will go through the delta, what I do differently. So Canvas is a learning management system. It's going to be the repository for the resources for this course. So it will be things like slides and demo files. And Canvas, as a learning management system, will also be the vehicle in which you submit assignments, homework, labs, projects, etc. If you're at the school site, there is a RVCC login here that will take you to Lion's Den. There is also at the very bottom a Lion's Den link here as well. It'll use your G number and your password to log on. When you first get in your Lion's Den, it may look slightly different than what I have here, but there'll be a button for Canvas. And so you click on the button, and what you'll get is your dashboard. Now, what I'm going to do is bring up a picture here, because my dashboard looks very different than yours, and I just wanted to highlight just this. You should see on your dashboard, well, one of these two. For those in the Monday, Wednesday class, you'll see the icon or the tile on the left. Those in the Tuesday, Thursday class, you'll see the tile on the right. When you click on the appropriate tile, it'll bring you into the course. Now, what I have done for my courses is I have the modules page as the landing place for when you first go into the course. What the modules in the center have is, the way I do it, is chronological from beginning to the end for the semester, meaning you would scroll down, there's week 1, there's week 2, there's week 3, and as you get it, you go all the way to the bottom, then we should see the final exam at the very bottom of this. By the way, this doesn't mean there's a paper. The final exam is on paper. Okay, let me just jump back up again. So the center part are the modules. And in terms of the kinds of modules, now I'm just going to glance, I want to scroll ahead to week 2, mainly to show some things going on in week 2. So one is the module that's here. This will have in it the slides for the chapter. It will also have in it a zip file of some demo files for the chapter. Some chapters may have multiple demo files. It's not loaded right here. I might not have the files loaded till closer to when the lecture is. So after Labor Day is when this will be enabled. The links that are here are PDFs, one's at 2 per page, one's at 6 per page, and those would be the slides that are associated with the chapter. If you're going to be printing, you probably want to use the 6 per page. If you're viewing on the computer, then you'll probably want to use the 2 per page. And you can just zoom in. You can zoom in as much as you need to zoom in on the slides. Okay, let me go back home again. So the other thing, we'll go back to that week 2 for a second. The other thing that you would see is for the week, there are work due modules. So for that week, week 2, I know I'm looking ahead to week 2. For that week, there's nothing due on this day, but the other day, there's 2 things due. I'm going to have a different video that's going to show the submission of the homework, so I'm not going to go and click on this right now. And I have a different video that will go through the submission of the lab. I'm not going to go through this right now. But the idea is that many of the weeks will be structured similarly. So here's the module, and here's the work due for the week. The module, and then the work due for the week. And yes, there are some weeks that have more than others. Don't freak out, not yet. So the center part is the chronological list. And it's one thing is if you stick to the center, you actually can get through everything in the course. The sides are sort of shortcut ways to get to other things. The right-hand side, the to-do list, this would be the things that are coming up. And what it should show kind of on top, the things that are first. So there is a lab and there is a homework for the week that includes the 7th. And then the following week, there's a lab and a homework for the week that includes the 14th. A number of the labs, I didn't say a number of them. Most of the labs are empty. It says to be loaded later. I will load the labs closer to the week. But the right-hand side, as the semester progresses, it will just be showing you what's coming up. On the left-hand side, the big thing I want to focus on over here is the syllabus tab. So let me just go and click on the syllabus tab. And in the syllabus tab, well, there's actually two things going on. There's the top part and the bottom part. Well, there's also the side part. The top part, there's links to some documents. This first one here, the syllabus, has things like grading determinants and the class policies. The third one here is the schedule, what's due when. So the syllabus one, if I open this up, it lists the book. Me gives an overview for the course, what the learning outcomes are for the course, the grading determinants, and then goes through and will describe in sections the different items that are here. And there are some policies, class policies, along the way. The other one, the schedule, shows the order in which the topics are covered. Now, this one is not hyperlinked, but it's one of those things that compared to that module list, which scrolled forever, this one only scrolls for 3 pages. I know 3 pages is a lot, but it's a lot shorter than the module page. I have had some students in the past who said that they printed this schedule, and as they submitted things, they actually went and checked them off. And the other thing is, when you're in this view, it's easier to look ahead than it is in the module view. Because the way I have it right now, we have to the end of September on the screen, and you can actually see September 26th is quiz 1, and September 28th is project 1. In the module list, you have to scroll to get to that point where you see those. So the nice thing about this class schedule here in PDF format is it's a little more concise. So you don't have to print it. You still can refer to it, and in referring to it, again, at a glance, you can see, in a sense, kind of, in this case, the month ahead. Okay. What I didn't open is this middle one, and what the school is now doing is they've taken the common policies all of our syllabi should have, and they've created it as a separate document. So whether you're taking an English class or a math class or a science class, is that syllabus part 2 should be the same across the classes. Okay, that's the top part. The bottom part, this is chronologically through the semester what is due. There is a little jump to today button, which right now is not going to make any sense. But let's say later when we get to October, and you click jump to today, it'll jump to October, which will be a little more convenient. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. If you're in the Monday, Wednesday class, all of the items here should be listed as Mondays and Wednesdays. If you're in the Tuesday, Thursday class, everything should be listed as Tuesday, Thursdays. I'm going to just scroll down real quick, and I'm just hoping down here, I just do see Mondays and Wednesdays all the way. So if you know you have to turn something in, let's say you didn't see it in the to-do list on the right, you can find the assignment here, and this is listed chronologically. One thing you might have noticed is that the due time is not consistent. There are some things that are in-class labs that are due in class. So the in-class lab is due by the end of class. In-class lab is due by the end of class. Homework is due by midnight, 11:59 p.m. Homework is due by the end of the day. What hopefully matches the syllabus, I scroll back in the syllabus to the grade determinants, hopefully the grade determinants here matches the grade determinants that are over here. So as you're looking at these different assignments, you can see what the weight of them are. While I'm pointing that out, I will mention there are going to be 4 projects. Projects are worth 20%, so each project is 5% of the grade. In-class labs, there's going to be about 12 of them, and in-class labs are 15%, so each lab is about a smidge more than 1%. So let's say you have a finite amount of time, and you can only work on one thing. The idea is, since you know projects are worth a lot more weight, if the way you let's say something came up, interrupted you, you don't have enough time, the idea is work on the project because that's going to be worth a hell of a lot more. Not to ignore the labs, but I mean, if you're in that bind where, anyway, that's the idea is when you're in a bind to see what something's worth. Okay. So I said the 3 components. The top part is this, the bottom part is this, the right part is this. Okay. In terms of these other tabs on the left-hand side, I'm not going to click on it right now because I'm in a different view, but grades is a way you can go and see the grades that you have received. Which, yeah, I can't click on it. I can't demonstrate it well, and I do apologize that I can't, but I'm in the student view, but it's not entirely like a student view. Okay, so let me recap. So we first come into Canvas. The module list is what we see. Module list in the center, chronological list of everything throughout the semester. I break most weeks into one part that has the source of the materials, slides and demos. The other part, the other multiple modules, the items that are due each of those days. So that's the center part. The right part, the stuff that's going to be due shortly. On the left part, what I focused was on the syllabus. And the syllabus tab has the 3 pieces. The top, there's links to the syllabus, which has things like the grading determinants in the book, the class schedule, which is a shortened view of everything, and then the policies part 2. The lower part here, it's everything due for the semester chronologically, and the lower right is once again the grading determinants. So there will be a different video that goes through the submission of the first homework. There will be a different video that goes through the submission of the first lab. And there's a different video that will go through the contents for Chapter 1 and another video that introduces Chapter 2. So I think for now, I probably missed something, but I think for now that is an overview of, a high-level overview introducing you to Canvas, our learning management system, our LMS. Okay, let's stop.